Howdy YouTube, Eznix here with a little video for you, an update. The Ezarcher project has seen a bit of upheaval in the last month or so. I was alerted to a problem with installing Ezarcher with Calamares to a Btrfs root partition. All of a sudden, that stopped working. I had been randomly installing the ISOs in VirtualBox throughout the years. And I usually used EXT4, but I'll change it up and use Btrfs. I hadn't done that in a while. And in the interim time, at some point, the Btrfs installations stopped working for two reasons. Earlier in the year, it was a CRC32C module that changed its name, and Calamares mkinit CPIO function referred to the old name. I didn't realize that had happened. And then the newer Calamares 3.4.2 would install properly. Well, it would install. However, the resulting system was unbootable. And the message that would come up is this message. Now, if you have a hard time reading it, I'm sorry. It's just a screenshot I took. It's an error. Loader EFI Linux.c grub command line 551 premature end of file slash ampersand slash boot VM Linux LTS. You can see the rest, hopefully. Now, it's premature end of file. That error led me to two assumptions. One being there was a compression issue and the kernel file, was compressed incorrectly. However, installing on an EXT4 or XFS partition worked just fine. So I don't think it was that the kernel file was compressed incorrectly. The other issue was the CRC32C module possibly not producing the right signature file, I believe. I could be wrong about that. But no matter, the resulting installation was unbootable. Now, I was alerted to this by one of my online friends who uses the Ezarcher project to assist themselves in building their own Arch-based spin, who noticed this problem. Upon testing, I confirmed it very quickly, and then I went through a whole bunch of problem-solving steps, loading different modules in the mkinit CPIO process, in the grub config file. Nothing worked. I could not get around this problem. I tested a couple at least, other recent Arch-based spins, StormOS, Blue Star Linux, both produced the same error, and neither one of them has any relation to Ezarcher. So I figured, okay, it's not just a me problem. A way around this is to create your own boot partition, a separate boot partition, format that either EXT4, and the root partition could be Btrfs. That worked. If you were installing with systemd bootloader instead of grub, and you created a separate boot partition that was also your ESP at /boot, that worked as well. So distributions like, other distributions that relied on systemd boot would work just fine. But I could not figure this out, and I still haven't figured it out. There is a new version of EZarcher up for download. I know I released a quick version about a week and a half ago, and I made some changes just to get the choice of Btrfs out of the mix in the Calamares installer, and that is what I'm left with the current re-release or release of the new ISOs. So we're going to go over to running Cosmic Desktop, EZarcher, take a look at installing this thing. When you first boot in Cosmic Desktop, it loads this accessibility setup. You can try to run through it, but in the live version, there's no point. I just quit it. And in order to run the Calamares installer on the Cosmic Desktop, because of Wayland restrictions, if you open a terminal, don't do anything in it, just open it. Then go to the applications and open the installer. It should ask for the live password, which is live, and it should start up the Calamares installer. Now, while this is running, leave the two terminal windows open. They don't do anything, but they allow Calamares to start. So if we go through the installation process, EFI setup, still have the same choices for swap. And now we just are left with EXT4 and XFS, no Btrfs option. And that is what I'm left with. So you have a choice this way. You do have a choice with manual partitioning though. So if we go to manual partitioning, create a master boot record, create, let's do, we're going to need an EFI partition. So let's do 1024, FAT32, mount point, EFI, label EFI, bootable, and then we're going to do a boot partition with EXT4. Let's do something reasonable. Let's say a 2 gig EXT4 boot partition. We'll call it boot. And let's do 56 gig EXT4 root partition. Call it root. And let's do the rest of this little bit of space as a swap partition. And we'll call it swap. What I meant to do is format the root partition Btrfs. And let's see if this works. EFI system does not meet recommendations. Okay, I think it does. EFI, boot, EXT4, root, Btrfs, swap. Well, let's see what happens. Now, when you do this, the kernel is going to live outside the Btrfs partition, which means that when you do snapshots, you are not going to have the kernel in the snapshots. Not sure how useful in a non-booting system a snapshot is going to be if the kernel's not in there. However, it should allow us to just install and use the system. We'll see what happens. It may work, it may not. This is just a theory of mine. Although it's a little more than a theory. I believe people have suggested this should work. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. While this is running, let's go ahead and minimize these windows here. And take a quick peek around the file system. It's a little laggy because the installation's running in the background here. So if we go to the EZarcher folder, what changes have I also made? Oh yes, let's go back to one of our terminals here. Pick the one that we just opened just to enable the launch Calamares. Let's do sudo ezarch.uefi, which is my own bash script arch installer. And this should work as well. The only real changes I made here are in the install broad categories of software and choosing desktops. We're not going to run this installer because Calamares is running in the background anyway. But if we now look at broad categories of software, I split out the display server into Xorg and Wayland, or Wayland only. I did this because Cosmic and Gnome are now Wayland only. So in order to get through the installation, if you're planning on doing Cosmic or Gnome, please select Wayland only. You won't waste space with Xorg components that aren't going to be used. In Choose Desktop, the only real addition is the addition of a Cosmic desktop choice. So now all of the desktop choices in my script installer match the ISOs that I produce with the same software. So you can run the script installer. It doesn't give a choice of file systems. You're stuck with EXT4. But it is a handy way to get a live install done that's not Arch install, but follows the Arch Wiki in the steps used to install the system. So that's another change with this release here. Let's see, what else has changed? Oh, I removed Firewalld D from the default installation. So there's no firewall set up, which means that if you want a firewall when you're done installing your software, your operating system, you can then install whatever firewall you want, whether it be Firewalld D or UFW or any other firewall that's out there. So I decided not to make that choice for the user. The user can make that choice on their own. Let's see, anything else? Not particularly. That is the main changes that I've made. So the limitation in Calamares to not include Btrfs is a automatic partitioning step, and the install scripts. Calamares itself really hasn't changed. It's still 3.4.2. And yeah, let's take a look and see if the installer is anywhere close to done. Well, we're at 22%. Okay. Jumping to 48. We should be done any minute. We can then reboot and test. And hopefully we'll get a bootable system with a Btrfs root file system and an EXT4 boot file system. Now, if you do insist on Btrfs, this would be the only way to go. You could, instead of creating an EFI partition separate from a boot partition, you could create a boot partition that's FAT32, that's also your ESP. I'd size it at least 2 gigs to give yourself a bit of breathing space there in case you wanted to play with different kernels or additional kernels. You get the LTS kernel by default. You can add the Zen kernel, you can add the regular kernel, the hardened kernel. Once it's installed, it's really just Arch. Okay, so we're done there. Cool. Let's go ahead and exit out of this. And let's take a reboot and see what happens. Okay. Yep, looks like it's going to work. Cool. So if you really want a Btrfs root file system at the moment with EZarcher, as well as at least a couple others out there, you might have to do it manual style here. Once we get up to the desktop, take a quick peek at our partition layout, see what it looks like, make sure it's okay. So let's do a lsblk. And we have a 1 gig EFI partition, a 2 gig boot partition, we have swap, and then we have our root Btrfs partition. Exactly what we specified in the manual partitioning step in Calamares. So there you go, folks. Hopefully that'll satisfy the Btrfs adherence. I still use EXT4 and XFS as an option if you want. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it informed you. If you find any other problems with EZarcher, please let me know. But going forward, this is going to be the way it is until some smart person out there figures out why what used to work isn't working anymore. So take care, stay safe. You'll see me in another video, and bye-bye, folks.